Hey guys, welcome back to Confessions with Cassidy. I, of course, am Cassidy, and I am so happy to have you here this week. This week's video is all about Christmas and how to handle not being able to go home for the holidays. This will actually be my first time going home for the holidays in 2 years due to the pandemic, and I'm so nervous and excited and I can't wait, but I know not everybody is going to be able to go home for the holidays this year, and that can be really, really tough. So I've put together some things that have helped me over the past 2 years since I haven't been able to be home, and I hope they can help you. Before we dive in, please make sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell if you're feeling extra lovely so you never miss one of my videos. The holiday season for a lot of people is family and friends and food and music and cooking and joy, and it's just such an amazing time to remind you how important family and friends are. And it can be really, really tough if you don't get to go home to celebrate that. And I'm totally with you on that. Not being able to go home for the holidays these past 2 years was nearly impossible. I was so sad and it was just so horrible. But at the end of the day, the second year was a bit easier. And I really think it's because I did these 4 things that I'm going to talk about now. My first point would be to remember it is just one day. Christmas is such a massively marketed holiday that it's kind of shoved down your throat. You see it everywhere, and it can be really exciting and amazing, especially when you know that you're going to be opening Christmas presents on the 25th and you're going to have mimosas in the morning with your family, but it's not always going to be the case that you can be home. And for me, it was so important to just remember it's just one day, and it made me sit down and kind of be like, why are we just choosing one day to be celebrating how much we love each other and celebrating, joy and happiness and family and friendships? That should be celebrated throughout the entire year. So it kind of made me take a step back from putting so much pressure onto Christmas and more trying to be, a good daughter the whole year around and a good friend the whole year around, and not just showing up on one day to make people remember that I love them and that I'm grateful for them and giving them gifts. I think me not being able to go home for the holidays made me kind of take a step back and be like, I want to celebrate my family the whole entire year. I want to be a good person the entire year. It's not about presents or about sitting around a tree. For sure, it's lovely and it reminds you of your childhood and everything. But these are the things that you can do all year round. And I think it made me just kind of feel better all around. It took a lot of pressure off the day, and it just made me focus more on how I can be more present and more available to my family and my friends and the relationships that I have throughout the entire year. For my second point, I would say keep traditions alive. When you can't go home for the holidays, it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be a little bit heartbreaking. I totally get that. But what I did was every year since I was born, we got Christmas pajamas on Christmas Eve. And these past 2 years when I wasn't able to go home for Christmas, we still made sure that we all opened Christmas pajamas on the 24th. And it was just so lovely. And it made me remember home, and it made me think of my family. And it just was a tradition that we've always done. Another tradition is on Christmas morning, we always make mimosas and we always open stockings slowly and we go for walks, and I just wanted to bring Christmas to me, and I wanted to experience how I experience the holidays even if I wasn't able to do it with my family. Which brings me to my third point, which is make new traditions. This is so important when you can't go home for the holidays. If you're living with roommates, or if you're with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or if you're celebrating the holidays with your significant other's family, it's such an amazing time to start new traditions. My fiance is German, so last year we were with his family, and they have a very classic German, Christmas dinner, but my mom makes stuffing every year, and that's not really a thing in Germany. And that was kind of a new tradition that I brought to his family by, making this weird celery bread side dish that I love so much. And now they always ask, oh, are we going to do stuffing for Christmas? Or whenever there's a holiday, let's make stuffing. And it made me feel like I was bringing this new tradition to his family, which was so lovely. And if it's that you create a new tradition that you go sledding every year, or if you get into the car and go look at Christmas lights and you just do something that maybe isn't something you did while growing up, that's so amazing. And it can really make the holiday season more exciting, because instead of focusing on the things that you don't get to do with your family, you get to focus on the things that you get to do now with your friends or the people that you get to celebrate the holidays with. For my fourth and final point, never forget that we are living in an age where virtual holidays are 100% in reach and recommended. I always call my family on FaceTime. We talk basically throughout the entire day. I cheers with my family with mimosas in the morning. Even though it's a 12-hour time difference with my sister in New Zealand, we always figure out how to have a cheers, even if it's her having a cheers at 6 a.m. when it's 6 p.m. for me. You don't have to be alone. Call your friends, call your family, and make sure to catch up with everybody and try and figure out how you can celebrate your traditions together via the internet. Alternatively, what we also do is, well, what we're doing now, I'm actually not home for actual Christmas this year, but we're picking a new date. And I definitely recommend this. We are celebrating Christmas on January 10th, and we're gonna have a tree, we're gonna have lights, we're gonna have the whole shebang, and I can't wait. Like I said on the first point, it literally is just today. So pick a new date whenever you're able to go celebrate with your family. One year I was working on the ship and I missed Christmas, so we celebrated Christmas in July, and we had a tree and we had everything. We had stockings, we had mimosas, we had a full Christmas dinner, and we still got to celebrate Christmas together, just it wasn't December 25th, and there was no snow, but it was still amazing. I hope this video can bring you a little bit of comfort during a time when it's definitely hard to be away from home and away from your family. But I'm sending you all my love. Happy holidays to you all. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Mwah!